Hey everybody, so here's a question I get a lot, and I think it's time that I answer it again, because I have answered it once before now, but it occurs enough. Let's do it again. And you can imagine how often I get asked this question. The question is, Spicy, what bike should I get? As in, first bike generally. And I have talked about this before, as I say, and I'm going to go back over it. I can't really help you. That is the short answer. I'm going to try and help you as best I can, but you'll see once I get to the end of the video, and hopefully it won't be too long. Basically, the reason I can't suggest a bike for you to buy is because I don't know what your wants and needs of that bike are. I also don't know your budget. I don't know your mechanical knowledge. I don't know the area or the types of roads you're going to ride on, etc. You know, you see, all of these variables are going to make the bike that is right for you. Not the colour of it, what everyone else thinks is a good bike and all of that shit. Now, if you live in an area that has roads like these, a good bike for you would be a supermoto, in my opinion, because, you know, it's better at dealing with these sorts of situations, gravel all over the road and crap. Plus, you might want to go and do a bit of off-roading, which you can do. If you want to do a shitload of off-roading, and that's going to be the majority of what you're doing, and if anything, the only riding you do between off-roading is getting to the off-road place, then an off-road bike, maybe even a two-stroke, would be a good option for you. But that's very specialised to those wants and needs. If you want a general bike, then a supermoto again, because they work great on the roads. The only time they fall down, and it doesn't really matter on the CC, this still happens, is when it gets to motorways. If you're going to be doing a lot of dual carriageway stuff, assuming we're talking about 125 here, then you might want to go with something that's more adapted to that. 125s are never going to be great at it, but a sports type probably will be better at that, because that is what it's aimed to do. You know, sports bikes are made to go on roads and go around normal corners and go in straight lines for a long time. It's great, basically. Supermotos, go anywhere, do anything. Not necessarily the best on the dual carriageway, but unless you're doing a lot of dual carriageway riding, they're perfectly suitable. They can do 70, most of them. That is completely why it's your decision, because I don't know anything as to do what sort of bike you want. That's what you will need to do. My advice, the first thing you should do is work out what sort of bike you need. Work the CC out first. Now, I'd always say go for a 125. Even if you're 16, just wait a year and go to a 125. You will not regret it. If you need something at 16, you haven't got a choice, then go for it. I can't suggest any 50cc bikes that are any good or not any good, particularly supermotos, because as I've seen so far, most of the 50cc supermotos are shit. So I don't know. Do remember, my expertise that I'm willing to, you know, give a decent opinion on only regards this bike and the Pulse. So you may have now worked out what type of bike you want. Now you're going to decide, are you going to go brand new or second hand? Second hand generally, you know, can be very good, although it depends on your mechanical knowledge to check out the bike. My only caution with that is I think 125s tend to be a bit more hit and miss, because the people that own them, and this is no offence to people of younger ages, because maybe it's even older people, people with 125s tend not to look after them too well. Now, I know plenty of us do, you know, I do, and I'm sure you do, who's currently sat there going, you fucking what? But you know it's true that there are plenty of people out there who have 125s and they don't change the oil in them. They don't do fuck all to them. Am I actually sat here like you're just smoking a fag and adjusting the hitch? You can go down the second-hand route, and if you're going to do that, then you need to be careful or know what you're talking about, or get someone who knows what they're looking at to come and look at the bike for you first. I'm not going to get into the debate of whether you should buy Chinese or not, because a lot of first-time riders will be looking at Chinese bikes going, look, it's so much cheaper, and someone like me uses one and loves one, and I have discussed the whole Chinese bike argument a lot. So if you want to go down, you know, arguing them, just go and watch another one of my videos called Chinese Bikes or something. I think it's called Chinese Bikes, and it's just to discuss that stereotype which doesn't apply to some bikes. Now obviously personal preference to aesthetics and, you know, the type of bike that you would like to ride do come into it. But don't be stupid and go and buy a completely different type of bike to what you need because you want that one, if you see what I mean. If you need it to do something, you need it to do something. If the bike that you choose because you want it can't do what you need it to do, it's not such a great idea. Though I can't think of many bikes that can't do what you need them to do if it's just getting around generally. So I hope that helps you understand why I can't really give you a straight answer as to which bike you should get. I can make a suggestion. I mean, I love this bike, but it may not be right for you. You need to be quite tall to ride it, and some people may not get on with it. As I say, it really is a decision that you're going to have to make, and no one can really make it for you. Once you've made that decision as to what type of bike you want, it's going to get an awful lot easier because you know there's only a few models to choose from. If you're going brand new, which is very expensive for a 125 these days, you haven't got too much to worry about, you know, because it's going to be new. If you're going second hand, as I say, make sure that someone who's with you knows what they're talking about. And we're not talking about your mate who thinks he knows what he's talking about. We're talking about someone who actually knows what they're talking about, because, you know, at the end of the day, your mate can go, oh, it's fine, and then it goes kabang within a few days, and you're like, well, fuck, you said it was fine. He's like, well, I don't know. So I'm not saying you're going to get any comeback, but it's better to have someone with you who actually definitely knows what they're talking about. So there you go. I'm sorry I can't pick out, you know, a model of bike out of a magic hat and say this is perfect for you, because it just doesn't work that way. I'll also note that I do have a few people, surprisingly quite a few people who are in their sort of, you know, mid-teens, maybe 14, 15, and they contact me saying things like, you know, oh, I'm planning to get a bike when I'm 17 today, can you tell me how much this is, can you tell me how much... And it's like, if you're 14 now and you're not going to be getting this bike till you're 17, well, obviously that's 3 years. An awful lot could change, and prices will change. The economy is going to change. Everything's going to be different in 3 years' time, roughly. It's great that you know, you're planning on getting a bike, because that's cool at such an early age. And just save as much as you can, basically. I think is the best advice. There's no reason that having too much money is a bad thing, you know. As for like buying a bike on finance, well, that is completely down to you. I wouldn't do it, but then the bikes that I buy don't cost me more than £2,000. The thing to remember is that no matter what bike you're on, whether it's a 50cc, a 125, a 400, a 600, a 750, a 1000, a 1300, a 1400, you know, it's still a bike, and we're all in the same game. A lot of people won't see it that way. There can be quite a lot of elitism, but not in my eyes. So good luck to you if you're getting your first bike. Don't forget you need to wear gear, ride safe, and most of all just enjoy it, because it's going to be a life-changing experience and you're going to fall in love with that first bike hard. Anyway, I'll catch you next time. As some of you may or may not know, I taught myself to pick locks about a year ago now, and it suddenly dawned on me I've never tried to steal my own motorcycle. So I thought, why not do a video and, you know, have a go.